Hello, Lorcana and TCG enthusiasts, and welcome back to yet another Lorcana deck profile. So once more, these deck profiles are decks I take to Mario's Luxury Lorcana Locals on Monday nights. Again, that is a free tournament that you can all join in with proxies fully allowed for all cards. So, no reason that you should not be joining in those events. So, this past Monday, I took this deck that I found online from Where Though the Greats. So, this is actually his build, but I made a few changes to it to cards I really wanted to add into the deck. But the whole gimmick of this deck is using evasion and steal from the rich to basically always keep your opponent off their win or off the lore amount, and then using the evasion cards to not only make it so that your opponent can't attack you, but also having all these guys that can just continually gain lore, because there aren't many cards in the game that can deal with an evasive target or evasive character. So let's do it card by card. We got 4 Mini. She's just the Big Whale Mini. We got 4 Sergeant Tips. This is a card I put in because I just did not like that we were only playing one of one drop, so 4 of 1 drops. So 4 1 drops are all it is. If you see anything that's really like a 3 that's meant to be at 4, I just happen to put in a few cards because I think I'd rather have them. For instance, Sergeant Tibbs. It did come up a lot to having that 1 drop there. It's also a 2/2. We have 4 Flynn Rider. We have 4 Small Genie to shift into Big Genie. We also have that Genie to shift into that one as well. We got the Cheshire Cat. Peter Pan is an evasive target. Tinkerbell gives it something evasive for the turn. Not that it really matters. It's got evasive. We got 3 Pongo. We got, again, evasive. We got the 3 Cusco. Again, being that he's got the ward and no touchy ability. We got the 4 Mad Hatter. We have the 4 Goofy. We have 3 of the Genie that spin stuff back. We have 4 Tigger. And we have 3 of the Genie that allows you to play 5 cost actions for free when he quests. Our 5 cost actions we're playing is Steal from the Rich, which means that whenever one of your guys quests, your opponent loses 1 lore. This did come up a few times to like stalling out my opponents for wins. We got the Dragonfire to basically nuke off dudes. And then we have Mother's Know Best to spin stuff back. Now, overall, this deck is pretty fun. I kind of actually like the concept of the evasive nature of the deck, like playing that and then using like Steal from the Rich to constantly, deal with your opponent's board states or like deal with their lore. Because if you can get a lot of guys out, like a lot of evaders out on the field, you can simply just, activate Steal from the Rich, even pay the 5 costs, and then swing with all your evasive guys, and then just gain a bunch of lore for your things, because almost all your evasive guys are at already at least 2 costs in the high bracket, 1 for Peter Pan, but most of them are all 2 costs, so you'll be able to gain a bunch of lore. By the way, this Genie is Shift 6 that can go into any Genie, whether it's this Genie or this Genie. And then he has evasive, like I said, so I mean, even he evasive for 3, you can play like Dragonfire, so it's not a bad deck. But I did find a lot of times when I was playing it, and even trying it out on Pixel, because that's where I actually try out these decks before I take them to Mario's, is on Pixelborn, a free software that you can play the game in right now. So I tried that on Pixelborn. I realized that I really don't have a favorable matchup against Amethyst Ruby. I really don't have a favorable matchup against anything Amber related. If it's a Stitch deck, I don't have it favorable because they can just spam boards out and I don't have enough guys to deal with that board presence. So this deck doesn't really have that level of ability to handle wide boards and handle Ruby Amethyst, which right now is a well-loved deck. Sapphire, I'm not 100% sure. I think you can beat the Sapphire matches up. Your Emerald matchups are weird. But yeah, your worst matchups are definitely your Ambers and your Ruby Amethysts. I can tell you how many times Be Prepared has wiped out my boards many times. And I also find that this deck, a lot of times I draw into too many non-inkable cards. A lot of times when I was playing MROs, I ended up with many hands where I just had uninkable stuff and I didn't have anything to ink on the playfield. So I mean, like, sure, I've cut down a lot of it. like Cusco's are only 3 of, 3 ofs, 3 ofs, 3 of. Most of the stuff is non-inkable, but it feels like sometimes I just draw into that non-inkable stuff instead of drawing into the inkable stuff. And it does hurt when you can't ink it. Now, what would I change in this deck? I would probably drop this Genie altogether. Maybe drop this Genie down to like 2 of, and maybe this Tinkerbell to like a 2 of. And I probably may put in like some Hans for his 3 quest ability. If I really wanted to play more of control, I'd probably maybe play a John Silver just because he turns something reckless. You know, being reckless and running into like a Cheshire Cat. Because again, reckless is required. A reckless guy is required to, if he can, he has to go and attack. So swinging a reckless guy into, say, a Cheshire Cat isn't half bad. Other cards you could probably put in here. Gaston for his effect. Maybe I would drop all this 8-drop altogether, and I would play the Mickey Mouse, because questing for 4 with Evasive is really, really nice. Maybe playing Maui to deal with a lot of stuff, because again, he has Rush, so we can come in and start swinging and clearing boards. And all that. So I probably would take like Steal from the Rich. I would even put in to be prepared to deal with wide boards if I can get up to that level, but that'd still be very nice. But yes, I'd probably take out Steal the Rich, take out this Genie, decrease this Genie, probably decrease that. And since I'd probably be removing this Genie, maybe removing this Genie altogether, maybe putting in like a different 2 cost. It really isn't like great, but maybe that's where you could put like the Hans in, to have that ability to have his reckless nature, but being able to swing and kill something off the board, which isn't a half a bad thing here. So again, the deck was actually pretty fun. When it went off, it went off. So if you're looking to know, I will have a gameplay video of this deck in action, actually against its worst matchup being Amethyst Ruby. And let me tell you, it was very close. Game 3 could have, if I had seen some better draws for Game 3, probably could have swung in my way. Or in my favor, I guess you should say. But again, very, very close game. Either way, I'm glad Mario got the stream so I could show it all to you. But again, if you guys want to see this Ruby Emerald deck with its updates that I mentioned of changing out all the stuff about, you know, like Steal from the Rich and all these other little evasive guys for the cards I just mentioned, well, you guys got to hit that 10 like goal on this video, and I will do a gameplay video of the updated version of the deck. Again, the gameplay video is over this version of the deck, which I still think is a very, very good deck, just because it's annoying for opponents. Again, a lot of evasive guys on the field, being able to steal your opponent's lore. So if they're a slower deck and they can't quest much lore possible, then you can steal from it and all of that. So either way, very, very neat deck. Highly recommend giving this deck a try. I think it's a very cool deck. I recommend if you're going to try it, maybe try Wero the Champions version. So basically knock out the Tibbs and then knock out the Mother Knows Best and bring everything back up to 4, and maybe try that. Again, I think Mother Knows Best is really nice to bring back like the big Elsas from your opponent's hand, bringing back the Stitch, the Rockstar Stitch, so they can't then begin the Stitch Snowball. That's kind of stuff. Now, this isn't great against certain cards because you don't want to spin back like Maleficence. You don't want to spin back Hades. You don't want to spin back certain cards that will always give your opponent advantage. But, you know, spinning some stuff back isn't half bad. Making your opponent have to restart and spin the ink to play those cards again. So, nonetheless, very neat deck. Again, 10 likes, and I will do an updated version of this Ruby Emerald deck for you all with gameplay. And again, spec this Friday for the gameplay footage of this deck against Ruby Amethyst, as well as make sure to actually check out Wero the Champions original video where this came out in. I will leave a link in the description below for his video, so you can check that out and, of course, give that man some love as well, since this is originally his deck profile. I just changed some things to fit more of what I want the deck to do. More 1-drops and putting that Mother Knows Best in there. So let me know down in the comments your thoughts on this deck. Your thoughts on what should be changed in the deck. How would you play the deck? What would you change in the deck? and all of that. And while you're down there commenting, do make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and make sure to ring the bell so you get notified when my videos go live for you. And we'll see you here next time on Mama Dragon's TCG.